Hello, hello. Welcome to an episode of Fictional Motivation. I'm your host, Quan, and today uh, my mustache wants to act weird a little bit, or at least to me it looks weird, but back to it. Gonna be going over a favorite of mine known as Collateral and how a bad event can help change us for the better. Hope everybody's doing well today. And here we go. As usual, I kind of read a synopsis from Google. Then I pretty much give my review on the movie, a little bit of review of the movie, and pretty much how it touches on the subject we talk about. So here we go. Collateral. After a long day, LA taxi driver Max is about to get off work when sharp-suited Vincent offers him $600 to make 5 stops. Sounds good, until Vincent turns out to be a merciless hitman, and each one of those stops involves a hit. I really like this movie. This was this was another movie that I liked Tom Cruise in. Tom Cruise plays as a very smooth and interesting villain, but I also loved Jamie Foxx's character. Jamie Foxx is a good actor. He plays a lot. He's played a lot of characters, but this character was a little bit different from his usual choice. Because usually his character, from what it feels like, the character's already mostly cool, and the character already knows a good idea of what he needs to be doing. This character, Max, he had a plan, but he wasn't initiating it as well as it could have. You could also tell that there were some times where he was second guessing himself or not believing in himself. But enter Vincent. During these stops, during this time of chilling out with a hitman, they have some interesting conversations. They have some interesting bump in the heads, and they have also some interesting times to where, in a way, they help each other out. But Vincent has the most effect on Max because there's this scene in the movie to where while Max is going through this, while Max is pretty much being pushed by Vincent in a way, but there's a scene in the movie to where kind of Max deconstructs what pretty much Max is, what Vincent deconstructs what Max is going to do in life. And he kind of pretty much, in a mean way, tells him that he's not going to do anything. Because pretty much the scene goes like Max tells Vincent that he's been saving up to have his own limo company. But then during the scene, Vincent kind of chops that down. It's like, how long you've been saving up for this? And Max is like, don't go there. It's like, one day my time will come. But then you realize that that day will never happen because you didn't think you'd go for it anyway. You're just thinking, you're just going to be distracted by life passing you by this event, by that event. And Vincent starts kind of digging into him about like, you've been wasting your time doing this thing when you know you got a plan, when you know all you need to do is have a little bit of courage and risk. And he even gets on pretty much Max's last nerve, where it's like, and that girl that gave you that number, you're not gonna call her, are you? Like, you're just gonna let that be another number on the dashboard that you're not even gonna try to talk to. And that kind of like, that last part kind of gets into Max a little bit. And after all that culmination, after all those combined conversations, it kind of finally builds up to Max that he has to be able to take risks, that he has to be able to push himself, to be courageous. And that is a lesson to where we circle back to the title. If Max didn't pick up Vincent, if Max didn't meet Vincent, there's a strong possibility that Max wouldn't even pursue his goals the way he does now. Because after the movie, or pretty much near the ending of the movie, you can tell that Max is affected to the point to where he's now has a more open, a more bold look at life. And this is where I go into, sometimes bad events are there to change us for the better. We all don't want that job to fail us. We all don't want that person to drop us. We all don't even want a certain part of our body or parts of our body to end up going against us. But if we flip it on its head a little bit, that thing may be needed because it may make us a stronger person. It may make us a better person. It may make us more of a focused person. It may even make us more of a open person, a determined person. And as usual, in some cases, I say that from certain experiences myself. One experience that I haven't really broadcasted on not even my social media, but like a few people know about it, is about a month and a half ago to like 2 months, I had an incident to where my knee dislocated and popped back into place. Now, it was very short, but the feeling was weird. And the after effects of that dislocation had me walking a little bit funny, had me sore pretty much near my knee for a while, and I got it checked out. But now I'm kind of thankful for it, and the reason why is because since I know that can happen, I'm now looking at mobility. I'm now looking at joint work a little bit differently. I now warm up my body a little bit differently. I now do things to possibly help prevent that, or to make sure that the other knee doesn't have that happen either. And I think even though it's weird, that it's still a plus. And after almost 2 months of that incident, I'm pretty much got my knee almost back to max flexibility to where before the injury happened. I mean, I can bend it. I can go into a low squat like I used to. But before that, it was a very unnerving experience that, during this certain thing, my knee went one way and my bottom part of my leg went the other way. And I didn't feel a slight pain, but it was like weird. It was like a weird feeling. And then when it popped back into place, that's when the pain popped back in, because after that, it was like I couldn't really stand on it as much. I could, but I couldn't put as much weight on it. I felt some kind of painful sensation if I put weight on it. And like I said, I got it checked out, and right now everything's going pretty good with it. But yeah, if I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't be able to improve myself the way I've been improving myself now. I wouldn't be able to look at what I need to be doing in order to be looking to what I need to be doing now. And that's the thing that I want to bring up, is that there's going to be a lot of events that we're going to be looking into, especially with how this upcoming economic turn could be looking like. But I need you to treat that as a moment of change. I need you to meet that as a moment of forced self-improvement. Because it might encourage you that if this event is happening, then maybe we need to be more bold. If this event is happening, then maybe we need to be more self-reliant, that we need to be more aware, that we need to be more determined, that we need to be more of a hustler, or that we need to be more of caring for ourselves, that we need to be more of self-care and making sure that we are okay before everyone else is okay. And I say that due to some other news that I've heard about the possibility of the famous Green Ranger, how he passed. And we have to understand that we're not going to come out of this alive. But we have to enjoy our journey. We have to put forth what we need to help us take on the journey a little bit better. And even if that means, checking in with somebody, talking with somebody, remember, everything that I'm talking about is valid. I'm not saying 100% resist bad events, but I am saying look at them at a certain light that could benefit us more than harm us. And that's my time. I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please like, share, subscribe. Hope to hear from everybody soon. I'm your host, Quan, and as always, be awesome, be cool. Deuces, respect the geekdom.